Hi, it's your girl Mimi. Welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I'm going to be doing an everyday makeup look using the James Charles palette because you know that's my palette, that's my baby, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of use it all the time. I know a lot of people find it really intimidating because there's so many colors in the palette, but I'm here to show you that you can do this look, a really like simple, natural look using the palette as well. So if I sound a little weird, it's because I'm sick. So if I sound congested or like just weird, just don't mind that. I'm gonna get better soon though. That's the reason why this video is a little late. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So first things first, I'm gonna pin my hair back because nobody's trying to get foundation in their wig. Not I, definitely not for sure. So I have combination oily skin, so I'm gonna put primer. I'm gonna use the Wander Beauty Illuminating Face Oil and the Nor Pore Problem by Touch in Sol. So what I do is I put the Touch in Sol Pore Primer first, just like in this area. And then I'm gonna use the face oil to go everywhere else on my face because it tends to get kind of tacky. And that's really good for when you're putting on foundation. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. Now the third primer that I use is the LA Colors. I use this one for smile lines and like under eye stuff because it does a really good job of filling in the lines. So it's gonna look really weird, I know, but trust me, it works at the end of the day. So I'm gonna put some right here and on this side. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of it under my eyes because my under eyes tend to crease a lot. I smile a lot, so that's why. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so I'm just gonna do that real quick and then we will move on to foundation. Oof, I'm looking mighty crazy right now. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going to use the Rihanna Fenty Beauty in the color 400. I have the Pro Filter Matte just because I tend to get oily. And I'm gonna use a beauty sponge. You know how it is. That's the only way to put on your foundation properly. So what I usually do is I'll use this flat top brush and I'll just put it like in sections on my face. Oh, don't forget your neck either, because my neck is a different shade than the rest of my face. So I like to do that. And then I'll just take the beauty blender and I'll spread it all across my face. Sometimes it depends on how my skin is. I need to do more than one layer. Looks like I'm gonna need to do that today, but yeah. So as you can see, I'm just putting on a second layer because my skin is not the greatest right now. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you put your foundation on evenly so that it all looks the same and doesn't look uneven and whatnot. And then any problem areas that I have, usually the foundation will cover it, but like if it's a really bad week for me, I'll just take my Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I take the second to darkest shade. I forgot what it's called, kind of worn it down, but I'll just put it in some of my problem areas. So then that way I can just cover those. And then I'll take a lighter shade in the same concealer and I'll put some underneath my eyes just to brighten up the area a little bit. And you use the beauty blender to blend that in also. Whenever you're blending your concealer, don't forget to also look up. So then that way you get every single inch of it and there's no like gapping or anything like that. Okay, next what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set everything. I'm also going to bake only because of my smile lines and creasing and everything like that. Not everybody likes baking. I was against it for a very long time, but I was curious one day, so I did it. Turns out it works great for me. So I'm gonna use the Becca Cosmetics Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. So what I usually do is I pour it into the lid. I take the beauty blender And I just put like this in the areas that I know are gonna crease the most first, just to bake. I use this first, and then I will take my Pretty Vulgar powder and do the same thing, only because this powder is a little bit thicker, so it bakes just a little bit better. Okay, yeah, I know it looks really crazy right now, but trust me, it's gonna look good eventually, I promise. I'm not doing this just to be done. So next, what I'm gonna do is my eyebrows, because eyebrows frame the face after all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush them out with a spoolie. And then I'm going to take, I usually use like a NYX or an Anastasia pencil, a fine tip, but I don't have one. I just have a regular dark brown. I like to do them dark brown instead of black, just so they look a little bit more natural. So what I'll do is I'll start from down here, and then I'll trace the bottom first. I'll do that on both sides. And then once I do that, I am going to, okay, then I'm going to do the top, but I'm only gonna do it not all the way in, just halfway, just like that, and connect the tail. I'm gonna do that on the other side too. And then I'm gonna fill that in, and then I'm going to brush it out with the spoolie, just so everything is where it needs to be. And then what I'm gonna do before I carve them, oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. You always have one good eyebrow. My left eyebrow looks so, I might not, oof. Anyway, I'm going to take a black, because what I like is I like my front of my eyebrows to be slightly lighter, and then I like the tail to be slightly darker. So I'll take a dark black color, just an eyebrow pencil, and I'll do just the tail. And you want to make sure everything blends so it doesn't look too intense. I'm going to take the spoolie again, brush through it, and then I'm going to take my foundation or concealer. It really doesn't matter. I prefer the foundation. And then I'll take a small brush that looks just like this, and then I will go underneath the eyebrow and carve it out. Okay, I see why everybody says this is really hard to film. Like, my goodness, doing your eyebrows on camera is so hard. And then you'll trace underneath is the eyebrow, get a crisp, clean line like that. You do that on the other side as well. I know they say eyebrows are supposed to be sisters, not twins, but I don't care what the saying says, because my eyebrows will be twins. I do not care. I'm a perfectionist, that is why, so not sorry about it. Then I'm gonna take the same pencil and go on top and carve that part out. Then I'm going to take, this is like a blending brush, but I like using it for that too. And I'll just blend that carve that I just did out so that it blends in with the rest of my skin. And so when it comes, so I don't mess up the eyebrows themselves, I'll do it in a downwards motion. And then just make sure everything is blended out. And then that's that. I get a lot of questions about how I do my eyebrows. I can do something more detailed in a different video, but just for the purpose of this is all you get. So then I'm going to take, just to make sure all my eyebrow hairs are down, I am going to take this Tinted Brow Gel by Mellow. Sometimes if I don't want to do all the excess like drawing out of the eyebrow, I'll just use this. But I like my eyebrows really crisp too, so I like to do both sometimes. But this is like a dark brown color, and you just brush it through your brows to make all the hairs go down, and then that's that. And then just like that, eyebrows are done. So next step, what I would do is I would take off the bake on my face with just a regular brush. Any type of flushy brush will work. And then I'm going to set the rest of my face. I'm going to use the Becca Cosmetics one again, just because I like that it's kind of thin and lightweight. What's really interesting about this powder, when I first tried it, it's like a wet formula a little bit. I know that sounds weird, but it's like a powder that when you put it on your skin, it's like wet and then it dries right after you put it on. When I first tried it, I was so confused. I was like, what's going on? Until I read it and I was like, oh, that's what it does. Okay. But it's my favorite setting powder that I'm using currently right now anyway. So next, I'm going to contour. Whenever it comes to my everyday makeup, I don't really contour as much. I don't like do a very hardcore line, but I do something soft. So I am going to use, I know this isn't a contour thing, but I use it just because it's kind of hard to find good contour shades for my skin tone. So I'm going to use the Salon Perfect brow. I'm going to use the Salon Perfect brow defining kit. I know it's not a contouring thing, but for my skin tone, it's just hard to find decent contouring shades. So I'm just going to mix, they're like panned out, but I'm going to use the 2 darker bottom shades. And I'm just going to put it right in here, just in the hollows of my cheek, on both sides, just to bring a little color back. It's not like too intense per se, because I don't want it to be. It's just something to bring color back in. Then I'm going to use a bigger brush just to get more definition in there. And for those of us who have double chins, I like to take some of it and just go along my jawline, because when you look straight on, it makes your jaw look a little more narrow. So I'm going to do that real quick. Then I'm going to take a shade from the James Charles palette, one of the bigger bronzer shades in there. I am going to use this shade right here just to help with the bronzing a little bit. Not too much though. I would not pick up too much because this palette is really pigmented. So I'm just gonna, just to bring more color into my face. Not too much though, because this palette is extremely pigmented. And then that's when it comes to contouring, that's about the extent of the contouring that I do when it's an everyday type of makeup look. Then I'm going to take a little bit of blush. I'm going to take the Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio, and I'm going to take the color Toasted, and I'm going to take just a little bit of that and put that in the apples of my cheek. You know, just so you look like you're blushing for no, I'm kidding. We ain't gonna be blushing for nobody but ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But I just took a little bit of that. I don't want to put too much because I don't want it to look too intense. Then my favorite part, I know a lot of people do this last, but I tend to forget if I don't put it on right now because I like to do face then eyes. So I'm going to take the Cover FX Light Medium Highlight and Contour Palette, and I'm gonna take the highlighter on the right side, and I'm just gonna put it at the top of my cheekbones. What I like about this highlighter is, yes, it's very pigmented, but it really is kind of soft and natural, so it doesn't look too extreme when you're doing your makeup. I also like to put it at the tip of my nose and the top of my Cupid's bow to make, you know, your lips look bigger, but yeah. And then once I do that, then I go on to eyes. So eyes are fairly simple with my eyeshadow for this, but I'm gonna use the James Charles palette for this. I'm going to just take a small blending brush, and I'm gonna take the same shade that I contoured with, this one right here, and then I'm gonna tap off the excess, and then I'm gonna go into the crease and just put that in just a little bit, not too much, just to get a good crease definition. And then I'm going to make sure that is well blended. I'm gonna put more here. And then after that, I am going to take a deeper brown shade, so this one right here, Just a little bit though, because I don't want it to be too dark in the crease. I tend to like it a lot darker in the crease, but then I'm just gonna go right in the crease right there and just deepen it just a little bit. I'm gonna do that on both sides. Really get in there and blend, 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 because everything is all about blending if you want it to look good anyway. Then after that, I am going to take a flatter brush, something along these lines. Oof, it's dirty, but whatever. And then I am going to, ooh, what shade should I use? I'm going to use the top third gold shimmery shade. And I'm gonna put that on my lid. Less is more when you first start off, by the way, because this palette is just so pigmented. It's one of my favorites that I use. But I'm just gonna put that right on the lid. Just all over the lid. And then I am going to take my blending brush. I'm gonna take a bigger one though. And then I'm gonna take like this light brown shade just to get everything to blend together more seamlessly. And then that's essentially it for the eyes, for eyeshadow anyway. Then I would put on mascara. The mascara I'm going to use, if I could find it, is going to be the Better Than Sex. And if anybody tells me that there's a mascara better than this one, you're lying, because it's the best, literally. So it depends on the type of person you are. You don't have to put on falsies. I love falsies, so I would put them on anyway. I usually have eyelash extensions, so normally I wouldn't put on false lashes, but it's completely up to your preference. I just prefer false lashes because I inherited short eyelashes, so they're not all that long. So I'm just gonna put this mascara on real quick. And for everybody who says they have a weird mascara face, I don't get it, because I have a good mascara face, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mouth isn't open or nothing, but whatever. So I'm just gonna coat my eyelashes evenly. And then I am going to apply my false lashes. So I'll be right back.
One eternity later.
Eyelashes are applied. You know, we're already looking cuter with eyelashes on, but since these are on the more natural side, I'm gonna just take some of my foundation and I'm gonna coat the lashes just a bit, just so they have a little bit more definition. Okay, then the last thing is lips. So when it comes to lips, when it comes to look like this, I like something a little bit more natural. So I'm just gonna take a brown lip pencil and I'm going to outline my lips. I don't overline mine or anything because I think my lips are a decent size. And then I'm going to use the DC Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Lemonade. And I'm just gonna, and then that will be your completed natural-esque looking makeup look. And so that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Write down in the comments below what kind of other makeup looks I can do. There's literally so many. I just wanted to keep it kind of simple, kind of natural, just so you could see that like that palette can literally do anything. So see you in my next video. Bye.